So, how's it feel being back in the Porsche Cup?
I feel right, Brian. I feel right.
Now, being a dad is one of the greatest joys in the world, but sometimes it means not getting to qualify for your race. We are starting dead last in this one. 22nd position. Gary Thomas wants nothing to do with this gaggle of cars up front. We're going to be able to pass Jeremy Thomas as well as we barrel down in to turn one. Starting dead last is not exactly what I wanted to do. I've probably got midfield pace for this split, but we'll see what we can do as we try and get around some carnage. And speaking of carnage, we're actually just going to stop it right here for a second. I'm going to call this the Triangle of Death. We've got a Red Bull livery there, we've got a Marlboro Senna livery, and we've got this massive gaggle of cars. So we're going to go ahead and back way off and let these guys, well,
you just knew that was going to happen. That was going to happen.
Too easy to see that coming. Afonso Manto and Shamari Dawes are going to come together on the next turn, and we are just continuing to pick up spots here. We're going to try and pressure Hunter Farrell into a mistake in the Red Bull livery car, and he is not interested in the turn, so that's going to be another position that we are going to be able to pick up here. As we go through the kink, ultimately we get through the corkscrew, get towards the end of the lap here. Victor Harrow is going to come around. He is going to pit, so that is going to net us yet another position. You'll see Victor pull off into the pits to the left here as we try and get a little closer to Ben McFarland here to finish off lap one, but we have made it all the way up to P11. After one lap, we've made up 11 spots. Hopefully we can make up some more as we continue on in this race. McFarland's going to fight us down into the Andretti curve. It's a little bit early to try and go for that. Lap two, John Moran, we're going to try and get around him in the last turn. Unfortunately, he's going to play a little defense, and we're not going to be able to get it done. Moran on lap three goes a little bit wide into the corkscrew here. I see an opportunity. We're going to try and dive down the inside, but his speed around the outside is going to make it tough for us. Gary Thomas is actually going to close in on us, look for a little move of his own going through that right-hander, but we're going to be able to hold him off and hold on to that 11th place for now. Move ahead a bit here in lap four. We're still following John Moran, but he's going to go a little bit wide as we start to ascend up the hill here. We're going to try and send it around the outside. That's going to be a move that's really tough to get done, and he's going to shut the door, but we are going to get a spot anyway. Andrew Kirk is going to go off to our left. We're going to go through the kink and follow Moran through the corkscrew and down the hill here. We're now up to P10. So that's 12 positions that we've picked up since the beginning of the race here. Everybody's kind of starting to Constantine as we get through the corkscrew, so we might be able to get a run on Moran here. We get a good run on him through the left-hander. We're going to deke the follow and dive down the right side of this right-hander before the penultimate turn. And we are able to get the move done, and we are going to set our sights now on Thomas Guerin up ahead. That's going to move us up to P9 at this point. This is way further up the field than I thought that I was going to end up here on the fifth lap of this race. And hopefully we can just continue to get behind people and spook them into moves. You can see us following Guerin down the corkscrew here on lap 5. We're going to try and get as close as possible to him here on the last turn. Everybody bunches up a little bit. If I'm going to be honest, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I had to dive down the inside, get on the brakes, so I didn't cause an accident, but I think that spooked him just a little bit as we make the run down towards the Andretti curve here. You can see that he is going to try and make a move on Ben McFarland here and just absolutely get it all wrong. Send himself well off the course, and that is going to net us another spot here. We are now up to P8 in this race. Just 6 laps in, we have made up 14 spots on the field here. Now McFarlane is going to be a little bit tougher to get around. We're going to try and get a run on him here as we again start to ascend up the hill. But we've been fighting him for quite a while. He was actually able to get around John Moran on the first lap, was able to get around that gold car on the next lap. So we're going to have to make a move that I don't really like to do. We're going to try and go 2 by 2 through the corkscrew. We are going to be on the outside. He is going to shut the door here, run us through the gravel a bit, it has to be said. And John Moran is going to try and get a move done on the outside. We saw a couple laps ago that that is a move that is going to be tough for him to pull off. So we are going to hold on to this 8th place spot at this point as we come to the line to start lap 7. It's starting to get to the point where I don't know how many more of these spots we can really pick up. We are kind of around guys that are running our pace now. It seems like this is probably where we're going to end up. We might need a couple mistakes, and on lap 9 we get one from Ben McFarlane. He goes a little bit wide at the kink. We're able to get him just before the corkscrew. He's going to try and fight us back through the corkscrew and down the hill here. He's going to take the inside. We're going to try and power it around the outside, carry that momentum through to the right-hander. We're going to be able to get that move done and dusted. So that is going to pick us up yet another spot here. We continue to just move through the field. This is one of the best drives that I have ever had personally on iRacing, just as far as picking up spots go. He's going to try and get us down the outside as we go through the Andretti curve. I'm going to have a little bit of a wiggle here in between 1 and 2, kind of parking on the apex of 2. I caught him off guard a little bit. He had to tap his brakes some, but we're able to continue on, keep that spot, and keep moving through the field. Lap 11, we're actually going to pick up another freebie here. Stephen Baber is following Sully Hans and just gets it wrong at that turn right before we go up the hill. A lot of people are missing that one. That looked a little bit more dramatic of a pass from me than it actually was in the cockpit. Got that one done fairly easily. I get by, McFarlane gets by, and that is going to move us up to P6 at this point. As we move on to lap 12 here, coming around the turn, we can see Dawson Fletcher off the track. We're going to try and see if we can get up beside him before we go up the hill here, but I'm not going to be able to carry quite enough momentum, so we're just going to tuck in behind and see if we can spook him into a mistake here. We've moved all the way up to P6 at this point. As we go through the kink to get up the hill, he loses it. He actually hits that sausage curve on the inside, and that is going to move us up into a top 5 position from our 22nd starting spot. This is not a spot that I thought we were going to get to at all. At this point, I don't know about catching Sully Hans, so we're just going to drive around a bit and see what happens. But with 2 to go, we see something that we didn't think we'd see. Hans was well ahead, 3.5 seconds throughout all of those laps, and he loses it in the Andretti curve. Barely keeps it on the tarmac there to be able to keep going, but that might be the opening that we need to secure 4th place. We're going to follow him around and try and get as close as we can here. You can see on the final lap here that we have closed the gap quite a bit as we go through the kink and up towards the corkscrew for the final time. Are we going to be able to get this done? Are we going to be able to actually get a 4th place? We break way later than he does. A real ambitious look down the inside, to be fair, but he's able to close the door, but he leaves it open just a little bit. As we get to this final right-hander, I'm going to fade my car to the outside and see if I can get a good run down the front stretch off of this final turn. Maybe one more lap. We might have been able to get it done. but I am not going to be sad about this result. A P5 starting from 22nd position. We gained 17 spots, plenty of iRating, didn't lose any safety rating. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. If you did, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and we'll catch you on the next one.